Good morning, students. Today's our new chapter is we start our new chapter, that is geometrical properties of sections. Okay. In this geometrical section consisting of mainly two properties. One is center of gravity and second one is moment of inertia. Okay. The center of gravity and moment of inertia are the main geometrical properties, geometrical quantities. And the knowledge of center of gravity is very important to maintain the bodies in equilibrium. That is for balancing the bodies. And the moment of inertia plays very important role in bending of the sections. That is the strength, the stiffness of a bending members such as beams depends on the moment of inertia of the cross section of the geometrical figures. Okay, in this session we will discuss about first property, that is center of gravity. So in this, okay, in our syllabus we have what is, that is just definition of the center of gravity, definition of centroid, and mathematical general formula for calculating the centroid of the standard sections, and some related problems. Okay, these are the topics we will discuss in this session. First, we have to know what is center of gravity. Center of gravity is nothing but if okay, any body, it consisting of number of particles. Each particle has its self weight. Okay, if let us assume if a body consisting of number of particles, and each particle has its self weight, and how we, the definition, according to definition of the weight of the body, is nothing but it is a gravitational force acting on that particle, and it acts towards downward directions. Okay, and let us assume this, if a body consisting of n particles, and here n forces, that is some, let us assume W1, W2, W3 and so on, are the weight of the each and every particle of the body, and all these are gravitational forces, and all these gravitational forces are acting towards downward direction, and at the same time all are parallel to each other. Okay, if you can find the resultant of all the parallel gravitational forces, that resultant gives the quantity of the total weight of that particle. Okay, let us, capital W is the total weight of the particle, and this capital W is the resultant force of the individual weight of the components, individual weights of the particles, and this total weight acts at any one point. It means if this total weight, that is the gravitational force of the total body, also passes through any one point of the body. That point we can term it as the center of gravity of that particle, of that component body. So how you can define? So the center of gravity of a body is nothing but it is a point on the body through which the total weight of the body is concentrated. That point we can term it as the center of gravity of that body. So here, see here, the center of gravity we can represent it by CG of a body is that point through which the resultant gravitational force acts in whatever position of the body may be placed, that is with the irrespective of the orientation of the body. Okay, so that is the center of gravity. In other words, we can define it is a point on the body at which the total weight is concentrated. So the total weight of the body is concentrated at one point on the body. That point we can term it as center of gravity of that point. Okay, center of mass, it is nothing but if in case of uniform gravity and all particles, that term center of gravity is replaced with center of mass. So the center of mass is defined as a point on the body at which the total entire mass is assumed to be concentrated. So, and the center of gravity is term, and the center of mass is used for three-dimensional components. Okay, so that is the definition of the center of gravity. And second term is centroid. So what is centroid? Centroid, this term can be used for two-dimensional geometrical figures, that is plane surfaces. The center of gravity of a plane figure or a lamina is called the centroid. So centroid is, we can define centroid is nothing but center of gravity of a plane surface, plane geometrical figure is called centroid. So, and we can define, in other words, we can define this centroid. The centroid, okay, that is nothing but center of area. So this lamina, this plane figure consisting of area only, it doesn't have mass. It's a why? Because it's a two-dimensional picture. So the centroid is defined, that is centroid is nothing but center of the area is defined as the point on the plane figure at which the total area is assumed to be concentrated. It's just assumption. Okay. So the total, if the total area is assumed to be concentrated at one point on the plane figure, that point we can term it as centroid. So here there are two terms we learn. What is center of gravity and what is centroid? So what is the difference between center of gravity and centroid? So the center of gravity is used for solid components and the centroid is used for two-dimensional figures, that is plane figures. And the center of gravity is nothing but it is a point on the body through which the total weight of the body is concentrated. And centroid is defined, it is a point on the plane figure at which the total area of the plane figure is assumed to be concentrated. So this is the definitions. These are the definitions of centroid, center of gravity and centroid. Next, mathematical formula. We don't have derivation. You have to know the formula, mathematical formula for calculating the centroid. Okay, centroid of plane sections. So for that, just assume any one component here. Let us total plane surface, and this plane surface consisting of some particles. So this divide this plane surface into number of particles. Let us A1, that is A1, A2, A3 and so on, AN are the areas of the particles, that is small segments. Okay, so first so consider in lamina whose centra is to be determined. So first you have to divide this plane surface into small areas. That is here where A1, A2, A3 and so on, AN are the areas of the small segments, and all these areas, and the total area is total area of the lamina is capital A. So capital A, let us capital A is the total area of the lamina. So that is capital A is equal to, it is a sum of that is A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus and so on, and that is sum of area of each and every segment, that is particle of the lamina. And let us assume this A1 lies at a distance of y1 from x-axis and at a distance of x1 from y-axis, and A2 2 lies at a distance of y2 from x-axis and x2 from y-axis. Similarly, AN lies at a distance of yn distance from x-axis and xn distance from y-axis. So here, let us, okay, we have to consider it like this. And we can, and we know the principle of momentum. What is, it states that total moment of the resultant force equal to the sum of moments of the sum of moment of the each and every moments of the component force. Here, so the resultant force momentum equal to area into x bar, where x bar is the distance of the centroid, distance of the centroid from y-axis. So a x bar, that is all other distances. A x bar is equal to a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a, and so on, an xn. So from that, x bar equal to a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus and so on, an x1 by capital A, where capital A is the sum of the area of all segments, that is a1 plus a2 plus a3 plus a4. And we can write this x bar, it is the x component of the centroid of the composite section as x bar and y bar, where x bar you can write, it says sigma ax by sigma a, where sigma a, that is capital A, is equal to total area of the composite shape, and that is capital A is equal to a1 plus a2 plus a3 and so on, an. And x bar, it is the distance of centroid from y-axis. Similar, sigma ax is equal to sum of the products of the area of each component and its respective centroidal distance from y-axis. Similarly, the distance of centroid from y-axis, that is y bar, is equal to sigma ay by sigma a. Okay, if area, that is section, has an axis of symmetry, centroid will lie on that axis. That is, if any section which is symmetrical about x and y axis, that is, it lies, the centroid of that particle lies on the x and y axis itself. And here, some standard formula for calculating the centroid of the geometrical shapes. That is, for example, for square, just assume here square, the dimension of the square is b is the side of the square, and here this is the centroid of the square is x bar and y bar. So where x bar is the centroid of the square from its bottom base, and y bar is the distance of the centroid from its extreme left edge. So let us, x is the axis which is passing to the bottom of the square, and y axis is which is passing through the extreme left edge of the square. So the formula for calculating centroid of the square, that is x bar equal to y bar equal to b by 2. It means it exactly lies at the middle of its sides. Okay, so this is C. CG is equal to b by 2, that is CG equal to x bar comma y bar, that must be equal to b by 2 comma b by 2. Similarly for rectangle, okay, here this standard formula gives the distance of the centroid from its bottom and is from extreme left edge of the section. So here let us b is the side of the, that is length of the rectangle, and d is the depth of the rectangle. So here x bar is equal to b by 2 and y bar is equal to d by 2. And if the section is triangle, it's a right angle triangle, and the dimensions of the triangle is b is the side of the triangle and h is the height of the triangle. And here x bar So as shown here, axis is bottom edge and its selection. So the distance of centroid we can write from its bottom, extreme bottom edge, from its left edge of the triangle. That is from. So the x bar is equal to 1/3 of the base and y bar is equal to 1/3 of its height. And see, circle. So here this is circle. It is symmetrical about x and y axis. No. So the centroid lies at the intersecting of x and y axis. That is at its center. That is the x bar is equal to and y bar equal to d by 2. And semicircle. So it is symmetrical about y axis only. So x bar is equal to d by 2 and y bar equal to the standard formula for finding y bar is equal to 4r by 3 pi, where r is the radius of the circle. And if it is quadrant, that is 1/4 of the circle. Here 1/4 of the circle, here it is symmetric. It is not symmetrical. No? So x bar is equal to y bar is equal to 4r by 3 pi, where r is the radius of the circle. So if it is trapezium, so y bar, it is symmetrical about y axis. No, its x component lies on the axis itself, center axis itself, and its y component is y bar is equal to h by 3 into 2a plus b by a plus b, where h is the height of the trapezium and b is the bottom, that is length, largest length, and a is the its smallest length, upper side. Okay, so all these are the plane surfaces. If the center of gravity of the solids, that is standard solids, circle, cone, cylinder. Okay, if it is cone, okay, don't have problems from solids. We have only plane surfaces only. Okay, just go through the formulas only. So for cone, y bar, it is symmetrical about the y axis. No, its x component to 0. That is x centroid lies on its center axis itself, and its y bar is equal to 1/4 of height. And if it is cylinder, it is its y bar is equal to h by 2, and hemisphere, its y bar is equal to 3r by 8. Okay, so all these are the standard formulas you have to remember. Okay, for calculating the center of gravity, that is centroid of the composite sections. Okay, all these centroids, standard formulas for centroids have to remember: for square, for rectangle, for triangle, for circle, for semicircle, and for quadrant. Okay, next we will do some problems. That is, we'll find the centroids of the composite section. So what is composite section? Composite section, it is nothing but it is a combination of more than 2 standard sections. Okay, only you have we can find the centroids of standard sections. That is centroid of the composite section, which consisting of standard sections. That is, which consisting of square, rectangle, triangle, square, circle, semicircle, and quadrant. So here, first problem is the given section is symmetrical about y axis. So we have to determine the centroid of the T section as shown in figure. Okay. So about its bottom and about its extreme left edge. So the given composite section is the T-shaped section. So here, when you can observe, when you can see this section, this T section is symmetrical about vertical axis, that is y axis. So here, the centroid, that is its x component lies on y axis itself. So it's not necessary to find x component. So we have to find only y component of the centroid of the given T section. So for calculating the given the centroid of the composite section, first you have to divide the composite section into known standard sections. So here this T section consisting of two rectangles. Okay, so we can divide the section into two rectangles. Okay, here, so see this dotted line shows the division part. So the dimensions of this T section is this wedge, it's 100 mm and its thickness is 20 mm, and this vertical column thickness, it's a uniform thickness, and its height is 80 mm. So here we have to find only y component. Why? Because it is symmetrical about y axis. So let us assume first you have to divide this into two components. So first component here, view number 1, this bottom vertical rectangle is the first component, first rectangle, and this horizontal component, horizontal rectangle is the second part. So so what is the general formula for finding the centroid? That is centroid of the composite section, x bar equal to sigma ax by sigma a, and y bar is equal to sigma ay by sigma a. So that is if it consisting of only two parts, no, so we have to find only y bar only. So that is y bar is equal to a1 y1 plus a2 y2 by a1 plus a2, where a1 and a2 are the areas of part A and part B, and y1 and y2 are the distance of centroid of the component from its bottom. Okay, so let us first find area of part A. So first part for part area for rectangle 1. So what is the rectangle 1? Dimensions of the rectangle 1, its width, that is 20 mm cross 80 mm. So its area, let us assume A1 is the area of rectangle 1. A1 is equal to 20 into 80. All dimensions are in mm only. That is 1600 mm square. And distance of centroid from x-axis, that is here x-axis is nothing but its bottom edge, bottom surface of the composite section. Okay, so what is the general formula for the rectangle centroid of the rectangle? That is half of its dimensions, that is distance of centroid from x-axis, that is from bottom axis, that is y1 equal to its total length is that is depth is 80, no? So 80 by, that is d by 2, that is 80 by 2, that must be equal to 40 mm. So this is first part A. And similarly find part B, that is area of rectangle 2, A2 is equal to, so whatever the dimensions of second rectangle, 100 cross 20, no? So 100 into 20, that is 2000 mm square. And distance of the centroid of the part 2 from bottom edge of the composite section. So here, according to standard formula, the centroid of the part 2 from its own edge, from its bottom edge is half of its height, no? That is 20 by 2. And this centroid lies, this rectangle, bottom rectangle lies at a distance of 80 mm from the bottom of the composite section. So the centroid of the rectangle 2 from x-axis y2 is equal to, first this height of this vertical column, that is 80 plus 20 by 2. So 80 plus 20 by 2. So 80 plus 10, we will get 90 mm. So next, this is y2. And the centroid, that is position of centroid of the composite section, that is T section, from x-axis equal to y bar is equal to sigma a, that is a1 y1 plus a2 y2 by a1 plus a2. Okay, and this y bar is equal to, substitute the values and simplify, that is 1600 into 40 plus 2000 into 90 by 1600 plus 2000, you will get 67.78 mm. So the centroid of the T section lies at a distance of 67.78 from x-axis, that is from bottom. Okay, next, second problem. Determine the centroid of angle section shown in figure. All dimensions are in mm and the dimensions are given in figure. So here angle section is nothing but L shape, and this angle section height of the that is, it's a uniform, no? So its width, its thickness is 12 mm, and this horizontal wedge, its a length is 80 mm, and its vertical height of this angle section is 92. Okay, and we have to find the centroid of this L section. So first, when we can observe this, it is not symmetrical about x-axis and about y-axis. So here for this L section, we have to find both x component and y component of the centroid of the L section, that is angle section. So let us assume x bar and y bar is the position of the centroid from its bottom axis and from its extreme left edge. So let us assume x axis passes through its bottom and y axis passes through its extreme left edge. So here, so after drawing the figure, and after that, let us our next step is, first you have to divide this into number of components, standard sections. Here, this L section is also consisting of 2 rectangles, and we can divide this as shown in figure. So along horizontal line. So this total horizontal rectangle dimension is first part dimension is 80 cross 12, and second rectangle total height, actually total height of the L section is 92, and we have to subtract 92 minus 12, that is also 80. You will get 80 cross 12 itself. So both are equal in dimensions when we can divide as shown in figure. So and we can, here we will calculate the dimensions, that is its areas and centroids of components, and we can substitute in one table. So just draw one table, that is first column is part, number of the part, area of the part, and centroidal distance from y-axis and x-axis, and that is from y-axis, that is x mm, and centroidal distance from x-axis. Okay, next, product of ax, area into x bar, and product of a into y. So first part is so give this horizontal one is the first part. So what is the about area of the first part, first rectangle? It's a 80 cross 12 itself. And okay, so here, so this is vertical column, vertical. Okay. So for we can find x centroid of the each and every part. That is centroid of distance from y-axis of part 1. So that is here. So part 1, it's a horizontal rectangle, no? So centroid, that is x bar, x1. It is the distance from its base, that is half of its total height. That is, its total height is 80, no? So 80 by 20, that is 40 will get. This is x1. Okay. Next, it's y1 equal to that is from bottom. Okay, from x-axis. That is what about total depth? It's a 12 mm. No? So 12 by 2, that is half of 12, that is 6 mm. Okay, so next find the product of area into x and product of area into y. So ax product is will get 38400 and ay product, find the area product. Similarly, find all these dimensions of part 2, that is rectangle 2. So here rectangle 2 dimensions are same, 18 to 12 itself. Its area is also 960, and this rectangle distance centroid of this second rectangle from x axis y axis equal to, so from y axis here it is same 12 by 2, that is half of 12, that is 6, and y axis from x axis its the central distance is first you have to add this 12 mm. Why? Because the bottom of the rectangle 2 lies at a distance of 12 mm from x axis. So 12 plus half of 80. 12 plus 80 by 2, that is you will get 52. So similar, after that find a2 x2 and a2 y2. So next find sigma a. So what is sigma a? It is the a1 plus a2. Similarly find sigma a x, that is a1 x1 plus a2 x2. Similarly sigma ay, that is a1 y1 a2 plus a2 y2. So after that, after filling the total particulars in table, just next you can find the distance of centroid from x and y axis. So distance, that is x bar is equal to sigma ax by sigma a. That is, just substitute the values, you will get x bar is equal to 23 mm. Similarly, y bar is equal to sigma ay by sigma a. That is, you will get 29 mm. So the centroid of the angle section is 23 and 29. So this is like this also you can find. So next, so T section is over, angle section, L section is over. Next, I section. So here, in previous two problems, so the composite section consisting of only two rectangles, I mean two parts only, and this I section, given I section is consisting of three parts. Okay, so determine the centroid of the I section shown in figure. All dimensions are mm. So here dimension. So the I section is the dimensions. So horizontal bottom wedge dimension is 200 cross 20. The thickness of the I section is bottom wedge is 200 cross 20, and vertical column is and upper edge is 60 cross 10, and the vertical wedge is 120 cross 10. So when we can observe this I section is symmetrical about y axis. So here for this section, just have to find the y component only. So not necessary to find its x component of the I section. So so first here first step is have to split this I section into three rectangles. Okay, three standard rectangles. So give bottom one is the first one, and the second is the vertical edge, and third is the upper wedge. So and here find the area of each and every particle, that is A1, A2, A3. A1 equal to 200 into so find area of each and every particle. So A1, that is rectangle 1 dimension is 200 cross 20. No, so 200 cross 20 A1 area finds A2, that is 120 cross the height 80 and this 120 cross 10, 120 cross 10 area A2, and A3 is 60 cross 10, that is 600. So after finding the area of each and every particle, you have to each and every rectangle, you have to find the centroid of the from bottom base of the I section. So for part 1 Y1, so Y1 it lies at a distance of half of 20, that is 20 by 2. Y1 is equal to 20 by 2. And Y2, it is the second part, no? Rectangle height is, depth is 120, no? So according to standard formula, depth lies at a distance of half of 120, that is 160, and it lies at a distance of 20 mm from bottom, from x-axis. So that is Y2 is equal to 20 plus half of 120, that is Y2 will get 80. Similarly, Y3 is equal to 20 plus 120 plus half of 10. So 20 plus 120, 140 plus 5, that is 145, Y3. So just after finding Y1, Y2, Y3, so substitute the value in standard formula, that is Y bar is equal to A1 Y1 plus A2 Y2 plus A3 Y3 by capital A. That is capital A equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3. So substitute the values and find Y bar, that is 38.48 mm. So the centroid of the I section lies at a distance of 38.49 mm from x-axis. And so so up to we learn the some terms, that is what is centroid, what are the geometrical properties of section, that is two properties, centroid, center of gravity and moment of inertia. In this section we will discuss only center of gravity. We learn what is center of gravity and what is centroid, and the difference between center of gravity and centroid, and standard formula for calculating the centroid of the composite section, and standard formulas for calculating the centroid of the some standard section, and we'll do some problems for calculating the centroid of the composite section, that is centroid of T section, centroid of L section, and centroid of I section completed. And we'll stop here. In next section we will discuss, we'll do some problems for composite section. Okay, thank you.